My question is to Councillor Gunn. Despite the 7% increase on council rents being a maximum increase and not a requirement, the Conservative administration have nevertheless plowed ahead with it, despite warnings from the opposition of the effect it will have. What evidence will the council collect to the impact of this 7% increase, and what additional support will they give tenants unable to cope with this increase?
Thank you, Councillor Wilkinson. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Wilkinson, for the question. I welcome the Conservative government's introduction of a ceiling on social rent for 23-24, and note that its estimated capping rent increases at 7% will save social tenants £200 this year, compared to what would otherwise be the full permitted increase of CPI plus 1 percentage point, 11.1%. Harlow Council's decision to freeze council tax for 3 years, in addition to last year's £50 efficiency dividend, will also be of direct help to many of our social tenants. Moreover, I note that 7% does represent a real terms reduction in social rent and falls below this year's 10.1% increase for the state pension due to the triple lock, the minimum 9.7% increase to all rates of the national living wage and of the apprentice rate, and the 10.1% increase to universal credit, personal independence payment, carers allowance, income support, job seekers allowance, and housing benefit. However, I do recognise Councillor Wilkinson's concern about the financial well-being of our tenants, and can assure him that the Council continues to monitor rent recovery performance monthly to identify any trends or contributing factors. The Council has a designated page on its website to provide support and advice to all Harlow residents on dealing with the rise in the cost of living. A link was included in the last 3 quarterly rent statements sent to all council tenants, and the site has been advertised on social media and in the last edition of Harlow Times. It links to local and national support providers and advice agencies, details of financial help and support available, and information for tenants struggling to pay their rent or council tax. It also includes information on health and wellbeing support services. In addition, rent officers are highlighting available support to tenants wherever possible, and additional information is being made available as part of rent recovery processes of the support available, similar to the support letters used during the COVID pandemic, as well as directing tenants to support agencies and charities who may be able to assist. The letters highlight the extra short-term help with rent available by discretionary housing payments administered by the Revenues and Benefits Department. Tenants continue to be encouraged to contact the Council as soon as possible if they are experiencing financial difficulties, to enable officers to work with them to address issues impacting on paying their rent.
Thank you, Councillor Gunn. Councillor Wilkinson, do you have a supplementary question?
I do indeed, Chair. Thank you very much. I thank Councillor Gunn for his previous answer. My supplementary question is, do you share my concern that in your last Cabinet report at the last meeting, your report states that rent arrears have increased by 6.4% in the last quarter? Serious arrears over £1,000 have increased by 9.89%. Arrears over £2,000 have increased by 4.91%. All of these figures clearly a worrying indication that Harlow residents are struggling in this cost of living crisis.
Thank you, Councillor Wilkinson. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you, Chair. I suppose I could repeat what I said, I think, to Councillor Vince about the exact same point at our last meeting about that report. I said to Councillor Vince at that time that, of course, it's concerning. We need to see if it's a trend or a blip. I've been raising this regularly with officers in housing, and I'm sure the situation has improved since that report. So it's something that I'm tracking very closely.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gunn. Councillor Wilkinson, you're the next question again, Councillor Gunn. Would you like to take this one as read, or would you like to read this one?
I'd like to read, please, Chair.
Please do.
Thank you. With an increase in heating bills hitting Harlow families only made worse by the Conservative government's failed economic policy, which is raising inflation to 10%, what is Harlow Council doing to look at improving insulation of council house stock and signposting those in the private rented stroke home ownership sector?
Thank you, Councillor Wilkinson. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you, Chair. Harlow Council recognises the difficulties rising heating bills are having on our tenants and the effect high energy costs are having on the cost of living. The Council is committed to help by delivering energy efficiency improvements to its housing stock and is targeting its housing asset management programmes towards properties with the lowest energy ratings. Current works, including the replacement and renewal of the council's communal and district heating systems, including moving the charging of heat and hot water to an individual household basis through the installation of heat meters within properties. We are also improving the energy efficiency of the poorest performing properties, which pose the greatest risk of fuel poverty to our tenants, by improving insulation. Through obtaining grant funding, additional insulation work to 181 properties has been completed. Work to ensure the council is fully compliant with its obligations under the Heat Network Metering and Billing Regulations 2014 continues, through which district heating renewal programmes are being delivered that are also helping to tackle fuel poverty. Housing is undertaking major refurbishments to its poorest performing flat blocks, for example the recent refurbishment of the Highs, which has already resulted in reduced energy costs for residents there. During 2023-24, a retrofit pilot of a shared temporary accommodation unit with a further 2 pilots in Falcroft and Millwards will be taking place to help us to understand how we can go further in future to make our housing stock energy efficient and better protect our residents from high heating costs.
Thank you, Councillor Gunn. Councillor Wilkinson, do you have a supplementary question here?
No, I do not, Chair.
Thank you very much.